I wanted to go through a couple of things today, just with the webinar, just around inbound marketing. And I know that I've spoken on this a few times, but every week that goes by, we're getting really good results for a lot of clients and for my business. And so I want to go into the detail of how we actually get those results. And so the first thing is there are quite a few different types of marketing that you can do, and some are more effective than others. And I just want to rank them. I just want to go through. I know both of you are looking at growing your business, obviously, and doing different types of marketing. And I want to just go through a bit of a matrix on what is the best marketing to do right now for a business, and then out of those pieces of marketing, how do you move forward and get results? And so this webinar is all about the 6 marketing campaigns you can build with one video. But before that, we need to have a look at the the landscape of marketing altogether. So let me just share my screen. And then let me know when you can see my iPad. It should say the Video Marketing Machine Blueprint.
Yep, can see it.
Good. All right. So before we get into that, I just want to take everyone through. The different types of marketing that you can, we can actually. I guess the smorgasbord that you have to choose from. And if you think about it, there's kind of some major categories. There's paid advertising, which I am a huge advocate of. I have done a lot of paid advertising. It's been very successful for me. There's SEO, or search engine optimization, which I think now I'm really starting to see the power of. I think there's a difference between knowing what is possible and then believing what's possible and then getting the result. And I think with SEO for many years, I was in the situation where I knew kind of what was possible. Did I believe it with SEO? Not really, because I find that there's a lot of companies out there who I would probably say is dodgy when it comes to the SEO market. So because of their lack of ethics and the way they treat clients, I saw the actual service they provide as also having a lack. And that's probably my fault. But over the last, 15, 16 months or so, I've really seen the importance of SEO, and especially pairing the 2 strategies together. How powerful it is. So we're going to talk about that today. The other thing is social media. So social media, not paid advertising, because this here is Google, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. But all ads. And when I say social media, this is kind of the organic. Okay. There's also cold calling. So this is going non-digital. There's cold email, which is another way of doing it. I'd also put LinkedIn in here. So over here, we're going to have LinkedIn ads as well. I would say outreach, because there's the organic approach with LinkedIn, which is just post. And then there's the outreach, where you actively go out into the market and try and get someone to interact with you on LinkedIn. Okay. So these are all the selections. Are there any other, just type in the chat or unmute yourself and just yell it out. Are there any other methods of digital marketing or marketing that you think should go on this list, that you think are significant and that you'd like to try or have thought about?
Marketing through associations, Chamber of Commerce's.
Yeah, SMS marketing, Richard
Yeah.
said. And then chambers of commerce, yeah, associations. I would say networking.
Yeah.
And that's sorry, I probably got that's not right. What you're saying is associations, which is one. Yep. And then networking is like BNI, Chamber of Commerce. Rotary, that kind of thing. Yep. Anything else? Cold SMS texting. Yeah, there is cold SMS texting. So I'll say cold and warm. Yeah, I don't know, Richard, if you've had much experience with that, what you think the result, or if you've had experience, let us know. And, if you've had any good or bad results, that'd be great.
Well, actually, I haven't had experience me doing it myself, but I've been a target to SMS, marketing, receiving text, for offers and products and stuff like that.
Is that from someone you know or someone you don't know?
No, not from someone I know. Actually, I could say maybe like you say warm leads, because this is like people who I like follow, maybe on YouTube, or maybe I'm following some health podcasts and stuff like that. And somehow they capture my telephone number and they got started, sending me a text, to watch this, or we have this offer and so forth.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like warm. They kind of know you, they're SMSing you. Cold, I would say, look, I don't have much experience with cold SMS. I've got lots of experience with just warm to your list. It's very powerful. So SMS marketing is super powerful. It's one of the most powerful things you can get. Cold, I get cold SMSs from people and I just think they're a scam. So I just delete them if I don't kind of know them. But then again, the SMSs I get from these people are scams. So I would probably behave differently if I thought it was real. But yeah, definitely warm SMS is what I'm an advocate of. All right. So I think Dan says geo fencing. What's that, Dan? That's basically when you're in an area and then on your phone. Yeah, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, it's just basically the same thing. If you're around a business, you're going to set up a geo fence and then you're going to get their marketing, retargeting ads. Actually, just got a pitch sent to me today about that.
Okay. Okay. And with that geo fence is set up, you can basically do it on TikTok, LinkedIn, Google, or you're talking about some sort of Wi-Fi geo fence?
I think it's actually like an actual designated boundary where you walk in near a certain business. You know what I mean? I think it's that where then your phone can get push offers and whatnot.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their pitch yet, but I literally got my inbox at noon.
Yeah, I've heard of that. So for retailers, that's very powerful. Look, I don't know how effective it is. It sounds amazing. I have no experience with it, but I know for at least the last 4 years, people have been trying to do that. So I'm not sure the success of it. Okay, so the big question is, we have all these options. So which ones should we start with? And which ones should we do and which ones should we not do? So if we had to rank them into 1, 2, or A, B, and C, okay? So A being the ones that I think are good and you should start. B are the ones they may be good, but you should wait. And C is probably the ones that I wouldn't do, okay? So when it comes to paid advertising, I think it's an A. I think it's something you should do, and I think it's something you should start straight away, because that's how you get leads. So through paid advertising, that's how you can generate leads. You can also nurture as well. SEO, I used to think it was a B to C. I think it's an A. I think SEO is something that's super important and you should start now. Social media, I think social media, it depends on what you're thinking you want to use it for. If social media, you're thinking about lead gen, it's probably, for most people, a C. If you're thinking about nurture, probably an A to B. Cold calling. I think cold calling as a strategy is probably a B. Can you guys see my screen still?
No, it went blank.
Yeah, okay. Here it comes. Okay.
Here you go.
Should be coming back. Okay, good. Now, the reason I say it's a B, I think it's a very effective strategy, but I also think that it's very, very difficult to do. And I think most people won't do it. I think cold email is also a B. I'm being very generous here with these two. I think they're both very difficult. And I think because they're difficult, most people won't get them right. And so probably a B. But can I just say, let's just change this. I think this is a C. I think cold email is a C. I think for the average person, there are guys out there who are just amazing at it, marketers who are amazing at it, but you've got to have a certain type of mentality. You've got to kind of be a bit of a, someone who just doesn't care. You just don't care. You don't care about quality. You don't care about reputation that much, because what you're doing is basically spamming people and you don't care the consequences, and you're annoying people. But it can be profitable, but you've got to do quantity. You've got to do 5,000 emails a day, 10,000 emails a day. Like, it's huge, the amount of, and so to do that, you've got to be a little bit on, with the personality that you just don't care. Like, I think most business people do care a little, and so it stops them from being successful. Okay. LinkedIn outreach, I think, is a B. I think reaching out to LinkedIn is very powerful. But again, most people won't do it properly because they're hindered. It's a little bit of the cold calling thing. Like, you're actually interacting with people. And so I think when it comes to effectiveness, it's watered down. I think it can be an A if you go hard at it and you make it your number one priority. But I think when I've seen people do it, they hold back a bit, whether it's because of time, whether it's because of belief. But the reality with LinkedIn outreach, it's super, super successful if you get it right. And it's also the method, are you using the right method? SMS marketing, for lead gen, I'd say it's a C. You shouldn't do it at the beginning. Again, same reason as cold email and cold calling. You've got to not care a little. And for nurture, I think it's an A. You should be doing it straight away. Networking and BNI, I think, should you do it? Again, all of this comes back to how well. I've got a friend I spoke to yesterday, and he is in BNI. And basically his strategy is, in the local area where he lives, there's 500 BNI members. If you guys know what BNI is, it's called Business Networking International. And basically you have a group with 20 to 30 members, and you all have to refer each other every week, and you meet every week as a group. You have to have a meeting with each member, one member a week, every week. So what he does, and there's your group, but then there's 10 other groups around your local area. So in his area, there's 500 people. What he does is every Wednesday, he goes to a surf club, right? Or a club, a sports club. He sits there for the day in the cafe, and he books 10 meetings in the day with people from BNI. So that week, he's ringing up every person in BNI on the list, and he's saying, I'd like to meet with you. Now, they're all incentivized to meet with him because they have to meet with someone once a week anyway. So, and he's in a different chapter to them, and that's fine. It qualifies. And, when they meet, they get to talk half about their business. He gets to talk half about his business. So it's a really win-win. So he just books 10 meetings in the same location. He sits there at 7 in the morning, finishes at 5 at night, and 10 meetings for the week done. And he's growing pretty significantly because of this process. So if you're going to use BNI like that, then yeah, it's an A. If you're not going to do it, then, it's probably a C, right? So it just depends on a lot of these things. Associations, I would say, is a C, like it's long-term. The rate of success with targeting those, if you don't make it your everything, is a C. And then Geo Fencing, I'd say, is a C because it's something we don't understand, okay? Or I don't understand. All right, anyone have any comments about what I've discussed there? Anything you want to say? Any ideas? Okay, so which ones should you do? If you look at the top, we've got paid advertising, we've got SEO or A's. Social media, I think you should do it. I think for the lead nurture, you should do it. So that's an A. That's the reason I would do it. I think SMS, again, is an A. If we're doing it for lead nurture. So you can see there's two categories. There's lead generation and lead nurture. So some of them are good for one, but not the other. Actually, most of them are good for one and not the other, right? It's either lead nurture or lead gen. And that's a big distinction, right? You've got to understand why you're using the strategy. So what I want to show you is if these are the methods, how do you put this together in a strategy? I'll just talk about paid advertising so you guys are clear. I built my business on paid advertising and it's very powerful. It's very hard to do if you don't know how to do it. And most people aren't successful at it. But if you get it right and you have the right strategy, it works a treat. And so the strategy with paid advertising is you don't try and sell anything. The first step is to capture the contact details. Actually, there's a step before that, and that's to create an audience. And so typically you'll create an audience with video views. So anyone that watches your videos, you can retarget them. Website visitors, anyone that visits your website, you can retarget them. Page likes, I don't really care about this one that much. What else is there? Email list. Okay, and so what you're doing is creating this audience of people that you can market to. So on Facebook, there's almost 2 billion people. Which ones are your people? Which ones are the ones that can buy from you? You've got to bring that down to a list of 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people who could be your client. And then you try and capture their details. And then what you've got to do is then nurture. And then you've got to ask them to book an appointment. Okay, so capture is pretty easy. That's a lead magnet. You've got to have something that's worth them filling their details out. And nurture, you can do many things. Once you have their email address and phone number, you can call them, you can email them, you can SMS them, which is very powerful. I've been SMSing you guys, automated SMSs to get you to come to this webinar today. You can do Facebook, Google, Instagram, LinkedIn, retargeting. That's very powerful. So you can retarget those people again and again with ads, okay? And they're kind of the main things that I think you need to do in the nurture, right? So you create an audience on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok. You then capture their details. You then nurture them. And then you ask them to book an appointment. And how do you do that? Through one of these things here, through an ad, an email, and SMS as part of your nurture. All right. So that's kind of the strategy. It's pretty complex, eh? Like there's a lot going on there. And that's why most people don't do well, because all they do with an ad is try and do this, book an appointment, or worse still, they just try and sell something. So there's all this stuff at the beginning that's important. Okay. So that is paid advertising. The next thing I want to talk to you about is SEO and why I think SEO, and it's not just SEO, it's actually content marketing. So I don't like SEO for SEO's sake. I still don't like it. There's a disconnect there for me. But what I have found is when you pair SEO with content and you have purpose for your content, you can really get some pretty fantastic results. Now, the thing with paid, so if this is paid, the thing with paid is it's quick, right? And that's why so many people think paid is good. and they, that they are drawn towards paid advertising. But it's actually not as quick as you think it is. So a lot of paid advertising people are like, okay, it's leads now, sales now, and then, content marketing or SEO is sales or leads later. But I would say that if you look at a timeline, paid advertising, they say that that's a day zero, they say, within 15 days, we can get a result. And then SEO, within 6 to 9 months, you get a result. I actually think that's false. I actually think when it comes to paid advertising, I think the result is much longer for the average client. I think my experience says that, depending on the client, obviously, but I think it's probably 30 to 60 days. Because what do you have to do? You've got to onboard. Clients have to be onboarded. You have to build the funnel. You've got to test the funnel. And then you've got to start getting results. Sometimes you don't need to test the funnel just works, and it shortens the time down to 30 days. But typically to build a funnel, it's at least 30 days to build the whole thing out. And so now when it comes to SEO, people say 6 to 9 months. Yeah, that's for a typical SEO company, and that doesn't care about quality of content. It doesn't care about lead generation, doesn't care about lead nurture. And all they want is their retainer. And basically what they're doing is building low quality content and backlinks. And I would say low quality backlinks. If you know much about SEO, they're basically just building backlinks. So I've got a client that I've just taken over. They had an SEO company work for them for 12 months. They built no content, virtually zero content. They did build a little bit of content, and the client asked them to stop because it was low quality. It was someone in the Philippines writing the content. They did garage door insulation. One of the 4 blog posts they actually wrote, it sold garage doors. So they were getting all these calls for garage doors, and they're like, we don't sell garage doors. And so I went in there, I had a look. I said, that's why. Look at this blog post. It's selling garage doors, not garage door insulation. And so that's just a really good, I guess, not reminder, but indication of how much they don't care about the quality of your content. They were taking their retainer every month, but they don't really care about the quality because they don't need quality. They just need to tick a list saying, oh, we did a blog article and we did backlinks, okay? And the backlinks they built were very low quality as well. They're not building high quality backlinks. Okay, so that's my opinion on SEO, but there's a better way of doing it, okay? And the better way is to do high quality content and then to use that content, not just for SEO, but for lead generation and nurture. And to use it to get results, I don't want to say instantly because I don't like that, but as opposed to 6 to 9 months, it kind of is instant, okay, when you compare the two. So it still takes time. I would say with a good strategy, it's probably 3 months where you could start seeing results, but you do need to invest, okay? And you do need to make sure your quality, the content's good. So, I'm just trying to give you the differences between, paid advertising and SEO or content marketing. And we've talked about the timeline being, a lot closer than what people actually think to get results. We're talking about why you don't get good results with content marketing or SEO, and why you don't get good results with paid advertising. And so what I want to do is bring this all together and really show you and inspire you to actually make a to actually do something about this, because I did, and I have seen some amazing results in my business. So let's just go here. So I think a few of you have seen this before, the video marketing machine blueprint. And what I've done with this is combine all the best parts of paid advertising, content marketing, social media. I remember we went down that list. Email marketing is something that we didn't talk about before, but it's something that's important, and combine that into a system that actually gets results much faster than, any other method that I've been able to use in my career, other than, paid advertising. So you got to understand, when it comes to results, paid advertising gets you leads quickly, but to actually convert that lead, a lot of the time, it can take weeks, right? Or months. And so I'm talking about the full cycle here. I'm talking about going from lead to sale. And how do we reduce the time for that? Okay. And so the way that what I've come up with is a system that's really helped my business and businesses that I've worked with. And let me explain it to you in detail. So the biggest problem with content marketing, or SEO, is creating high quality content. And so the best way I've found to create high quality content is to get the client to create high quality content. You cannot outsource it if you want high quality content. So it's the client, it's you have to create the content. Now, writing blog posts for most people is very, very difficult. Okay. And so that's what hinders people. But what has worked is when we get the client to record a video, and we then use that as the foundation for the content. So that one video, we transcribe it into a blog post. And yes, it needs to be edited a little, because when you speak, it's very bad English, poor English, compared to when you write. So we transcribe it and then clean it up. And now it's typically you or the client who has a very good understanding of the industry creating very high quality content. We transcribe it into the blog post, and then that becomes the video for all the other marketing, that we do. So when it gets created, it gets transcribed and then edited so it makes sense. And then we edit the video, we chop the beginning and end off. And if we need to edit the middle just to clean it up, we do that. And now we have our 2 pieces of content that we use. And so the first thing we do is, if you look here, there's 2 different parts to this process. If you see here, there's lead generation and lead nurture. So it's very important you understand the difference when you're doing marketing. Some marketing strategies are good to generate a lead, and others are good for nurturing leads. And so, we look down here at all the possibilities that we have. And now we're taking those possibilities, and we're making sense out of it. What do we actually do with this information that we've just spoken about? So what we do is we divide it into 2 categories. 1, the content you create can generate new leads. And 2, that content can be used, the same video can be used to nurture leads. Okay. So they'll book an appointment, because the ultimate goal is this, a new client. Right? So how do we go from creating one video to ending up with a client? And the way we do this is this. The first thing we do is we convert that into a YouTube video. So we edit the video down, we upload it to YouTube, and here's a screenshot of YouTube, and we put a thumbnail on it. And YouTube is the 2nd biggest search engine on the planet. If you do a Google search, if YouTube has videos, those videos come up just below the ads. Okay, so the YouTube videos is very prioritized. I think there's Google My Business first, and second is the mapping, local mapping, and then video. And so if you create a video for every piece of content, remember we start with a video, then create the blog post or the article. If you have a video, you upload it to YouTube, second biggest search engine on the planet. People are on there every day. I pretty much use YouTube now, and I think a lot of people do in placement of entertainment and also my news source and my education. Like when I want to learn something, I go to YouTube now. The other day, I was searching in YouTube to find a problem, and I thought, oh, I should go back to Google and just search there. And I went back to Google and I found a few more things. But my go-to place to find solutions now is YouTube, because I just want to watch the video. I don't want to read a whole article on it. Okay, so very powerful. We create a YouTube video, second biggest search engine on the planet. I actually get lots of leads from here. So what happens is they'll search on YouTube, they'll find a video, and then they do something called, in Australia, we call binge watch. I don't know. Do you guys know what binge means in America?
Oh, yeah.
You do? Okay, good. So binge watching. And I'll find that people watch anywhere between 10 and 20 videos before they get on a call with me. Because YouTube just has, once you think you like one video, you go to the channel, you say, what are the top videos? And then you just start watching if you like them. If you don't like them, you won't watch. And so this not only is lead gen, it actually goes into nurture as well. But I put it in the lead gen category because the nurture is binge watching. They just watch and watch and watch. And it's one of the best ways that people can build trust in you by watching 20 of your videos. And so I just had a client recently who signed up on Monday. And this client lives in Australia. They did a search. My video on YouTube came up. They knew nothing about me. She watched literally 20 videos. She then booked an appointment with me. She had zero trust in the industry. So she wanted me to coach her, and she had been ripped off by someone else before. And so she said she paid them $1,000 and they just ran off with the money. Someone in America, they ran off with the money to help to coach her. She got nothing. So when she found me, she was like, Marlon, I love what you do. It's great. She was just totally on board. And then when she went to sign up, she's like, yeah, but I've got this really bad experience. I've been, ripped off. And look, I sympathized with her, but I can't take on her baggage from, what someone else has done to her. And I can't justify what they did, right? There's nothing I can say because it's really bad what they did to her. So all I could say was, I'm really sorry, but this is how I work. And, she went back and forth for a week or so, or maybe 2 weeks. And then she went ahead. And she asked for a few things to protect herself. And I said, I can do this, but I can't do this. I couldn't do what she wanted because it's just not my business model. But she signed up anyway. And the reason why I think she signed up is because of my videos, because she felt like she knew me. The way she spoke to me on the phone, like she knew a lot about me. And I think what happens is when they see a work of videos, they see a body of work, they can at least say, people can say, he's committed. He's been around for a while. He's serious about what he does. He's not, if you look at a lot of coaches, they're here today, gone tomorrow. You'll search them and there's not a lot of credibility there. A lot of coaches 12 months ago, and they brag about this, were working in bars. They knew nothing about the industry. And so people are catching on to this. And I think when you have a body of work, a body of blog posts, a body of, it really helps in the nurture to get people qualified to buy your product or your service and trust you or your company. And that's the power. So yes, it's for lead generation. That's where I'm seeing that's where I'm seeing a lot of traction with YouTube videos, but I can never underestimate or build up the power of the binge watch when people just watch 20 of my videos, okay? So the next thing is the blog post. Now, this is why, so remember, I don't like SEO companies and I don't like SEO, right? I just don't because as a marketer, I don't trust SEO companies. I don't like them, okay? But I do it differently to SEO companies because I want results. Remember, I'm a paid advertising guy. I'm a results driven, and SEO for me was not a good strategy because I couldn't really understand how you get results by writing content, right? And when people tell me it's 6 to 9 months, 10 months away or 12 months, I'm like, that person is lying to me. That person is hiding something. I cannot wait 6 months to see a result. And then I know what's going to happen. They're going to come back and go, okay, sorry, didn't work. But they've got 6 months of my cash that they just get to keep. And we both part ways. Who loses? I lose, they lose nothing. I could not get my head around that. But now I figured it out. And this is how I do it. Because we get the client, or I create the content myself, it's high quality content, okay? We then transcribe it. We then optimize it so it's written like a blog post that Google actually cares about. And it's actually not hard to do that. It sounds technical. It's very basic. I've got some friends in the industry who are SEO people who I do trust, and they're realistic about SEO. And, you know, SEO isn't hard to do. It's actually quite easy. They make it sound hard and they put it in a black box to confuse people. But to actually create a blog post that's SEO optimized, it's pretty easy. But it's important that we optimize it for SEO. But the most important thing we do here is we do keyword research. So we write blog posts around keywords that people are actually searching. This is really important. I know it's obvious, but we're talking about executing these things, executing them, not just talking about the theory. So you got to write headlines that have keywords in them. When I first started doing this, I was creating YouTube videos and then converting into blog posts, and they weren't keyword optimized. They were just about topics I wanted to blog, to create videos on that I thought were important. And I did well, but no, let me say that again. I didn't do well, right? But what happened, so each video, most of my videos actually didn't get a lot of views, right? Very few views. And then by accident, there were a few videos I created that were keyword optimized just because I created so many. And those ones gave me all of the appointments booked in my calendar. Because when someone searches Facebook ads for web designers, that keyword, mine comes up. I'm at the top because it's a long tail keyword. And when someone watches that video, they're convinced, and then they watch a whole bunch of others around the same topic. And that is what generates the lead. So I have a few videos that are giving me pretty much all of my leads. So what I've seen over the last 15 months is it's so important to optimize your titles of your videos for the keywords people are actually typing into Google and YouTube. Now, I know that sounds obvious, right? To you and me, we know this. In theory, I'm talking about executing this, making it happen in your business, because these kind of things make a huge difference. Now, the other thing I love about SEO now is because it lasts forever. So the investment you make today into SEO by writing that post, creating that video, it will last for 5 and 10 years. You'll keep getting leads. Well, with paid advertising, the day you stop paying Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, you get nothing. They show no more love to you. They give you no more leads. And so how realistic is this for people like you and me, you know, to use these two as a lead gen source? Is it realistic? I would say, yeah, it's realistic. Do you have to wait? I would say 3 to 4 months of investing into it before you see a result. There's shortcuts, and I'm going to show you some shortcuts now of how you can get results. So the nurture is how you get results today, but lead gen, you have to wait, right? But nurture, you get results instantly from your content. So I'm not a person that wants to do stuff for 3 months, see no results, and then one day just pray that results are going to come. That's gambling to me. That's Las Vegas. I don't want to deal with that. So what I've done is I created a system where the lead gen is important. It lasts forever. It's powerful. It nurtures. It brings in high quality leads, but that's a 3 to 4 month journey. So what do I do with my content today to get results from the video I create today? What do I do? What I do is, the first thing I do is the email. And so this email will go to my list. So it's so important you build a list, and you have a list And it doesn't matter how big that list is. If it's 50, 100, 150, 3,000, it doesn't matter, because each person on that list should be a high quality contact. It should be your perfect prospect. And so the size of the list is irrelevant. What's relevant is that you send regular emails to them that add value and have a call to action. And this is probably, out of this whole process, if I had to pick one thing to do, it would be this one. Having a list that you build over time, slowly, high quality contacts. And the way I do it is through Facebook. I give away a lead magnet that only my perfect prospect would want. And everyone else who isn't doesn't care about it. I name it. It's very clear. And over time, I've built that list over the last 3, 4, 5 years. And now I have a big list, but every day I'm adding a couple to it. Every week I'm adding a few more to it. And it doesn't matter how many you add to it or how big the list is. What's important is that they're the right person, and then you send regular emails. You add value. You don't ask, you give, you give, you give in every email. And at the end of every email, you have a quick call to action, a quick ask. It's like this here, right? This webinar. I'm giving for an hour, and then I'll ask you at the very end for something quick. But the hour of giving far outweighs the one quick thing at the end that I'll say, hey, book a call with me if you want help. Okay. And you do that with every email you give. And what I do is I take the video from here and I just email it to my list. So if you look here, this is what the email looks like. You know, I have a thumbnail so people know it's the email. This text here is just there to get them to click. So I write a very short email that sells the video. And when they click the video, the link, they go to a page on my website with the video and a button underneath that says book a call now. And I do that once or twice a week. So that is super powerful. The next thing is social media. Now, if I'm honest with you, I don't love social media, like organic social media. I think it's a bit of a waste of time, right? But when it comes to lead gen, lead nurture, because the rate of people who like your page that actually see your post on Facebook is probably 5% now. So they're not showing it to people. But what is good with social media is groups. So Facebook groups is super powerful. It's opposite. So when you do something on Facebook groups, if they're engaged, so many more people see it. That's the first thing I like about social media. The second thing for business is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where Facebook was, 10 years ago. So they don't have enough content, lots of people entering the platform. So when you post something, they do push it out to lots of people. I got lots of opportunities of LinkedIn just by posting my videos. So I take the video, I put it in, that's a square video for LinkedIn, and Facebook, that's Facebook there. That's LinkedIn, that's Instagram. So you can change it to different shapes, or you don't have to do any of this. You just upload the video. It just depends on what sophistication. I'd much rather you not change the shape of the video for the platform or put subtitles on it, just post it. That will work. Obviously making it look nicer and have subtitles and headings is better, but how much better? It's better to do it than not do it, right? It's better to post a video that's just no subtitles than never post a video because you have the subtitles. The power is in doing it and getting it out there, not in how pretty it looks. Okay, so that's where social media, I've turned social media from something I don't care about to something I'm really happy to do now, and I get results from. And I've got to say, my Facebook group, I get a huge amount of leads and opportunities, because in my group, I get so many people that just see video after video after video. They engage with me. A lot of you guys are in one of my groups. And I now love social media, right? Can you see how I've turned every single strategy into something that actually works? And then the last one is Facebook Ads Retargeting. And you can do the same thing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just expensive at the moment. That's why I don't talk a lot about it. Sorry, my screen has just gone off again. Okay, let's just get this back. Just reshare. All right. Oh. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Yeah. Try again. Just try one more time. Very strange. All right, strange. I never had this issue before. All right. I think I'll have to just go on without it. So I'll just go on without it. So Facebook advertising and retargeting is super, super important. And this is the nurture. Remember we talked about the nurture? So the nurture is social media, it's email marketing, and Facebook retargeting. And really you can put in $1 a day for this, but it's so important that when someone comes on your email list, you upload their contact details to Facebook, and this can be automatically done. And then you can show ads to them every single week. If someone hits your website, then you can show ads to them every single week. If someone watches a previous video on Facebook, you can show ads to them. Someone likes your page, you can show ads to them. And so this is important because it's the nurture. It's how people get to know you. Every time they go to Facebook, they're seeing videos, new videos of you. So we take the video for the week and we then put $7 behind it for the week, and we show it to everyone that's in our list on our website, has watched previous videos. And doing that every week, you're nurturing. People are getting to know you, they're getting to see you. Every video you're educating, and then you're having a call to action to get them to book an appointment. And can I just say that it works? It's something for me that I've done, and I have got tremendous results from doing this kind of thing. What I might do actually is just open up. I can open this up on my desktop actually. So just to finish this off, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So just finishing it off, you can see how it all now fits together. The reason this strategy works is because there's a lot of thought behind the strategy. You know, it's not just about, okay, how do I just create content, right? How do I create content and just put it out there? No, every single one of these marketing strategies here actually do something in your business weekly. Every week, YouTube is getting more leads for you and nurturing as people binge watch. Every week, you're adding a new blog post or 2 new blog posts to your blog, and they're getting indexed in Google, and people are finding it as they're doing searches. And you're making sure that your keywords for your titles are keywords people are searching for. Every week, you're sending 1 or 2 emails to your list, educating, nurturing, and it makes a massive difference. People read it, they watch it, but they never tell you, but they keep seeing it. And your name keeps popping up. And when they're ready, they know who to go to when they need that. Social media, you're posting to your Facebook group, you're posting to your LinkedIn profile. Very, very powerful. LinkedIn is pushing that content out to everyone because it needs content. It's hungry for content. And then finally, Facebook ads retargeting or LinkedIn retargeting. You're showing your new videos weekly to people who are already on your list. And that's how you build, and I call it a video marketing machine that actually grows your business. You know, it dramatically grows your business over time. How long does it take to start working? Well, The nurture stuff works straight away, right? And I would say it's probably a few months for this to kick in, because even with the emails, you start emailing a list, you got to warm that list up. They're not used to you. You've never emailed them before. So they've got to get used to you. Social media on LinkedIn, again, it takes a little bit of time. Facebook retargeting, people get to see you again and again and again. So this one, again, from day one, you can get opportunities from it because you're actually reaching out to people through email. And then I had a client who did this once. Like he said, Marlon, I don't email a list, I'm not interested. I said, just do one. He emailed it. He was a real estate agent. He got a listing straight away. So it could be as much as one, but I don't promise things like that, because you got to go with the average, right? So this is where you really focus in the short term, the nurture. The lead gen is something that does take a bit longer, but by combining the two for the one piece of content every single week, or two pieces of content every week, this is how you can sustain your energy you're putting into it, because you're seeing results. Okay. And then before we wrap up, I just want to tell you about, have you got any questions? Now's a good time to ask the questions. So if you go to my site here, I've just put that link in. It's called the Video Marketing Machine. So on here, there's lots of information. There's a video that you can watch that teaches you about it. And over here, it talks about all the different, parts of it, how it works. And then there's two things we've got. One is we've got a training program where I can train you to do it. And the other one is where we do it for our clients, where we see lots of good results. So we actually go away. Our clients record 4 videos a month. They can do it in a batch. So in one day, over 2 hours, they can record all 4 videos. And then for that month, we edit them, we publish them, we create the posts, we do the social media images and everything, and then we post it. And then they come on coaching calls and we help them as they go through. But we are doing it set and forget. They record high quality content, we execute it. And you can see what I charge. And if you're a web designer, you can see it's pretty good money every month to do that. And my team in the Philippines does the work. And so it's really good profit margin. But there's two kind of ways I can work with you. Okay, so check that out if you're interested. Bill said a few of our new websites have ranked on page 1 within 2 to 4 weeks after launch. We find it rare that it takes 6 or more months to rank. Yeah, I think you're right. I think in certain industries, like local industries, if you're in the right area where there's not a lot of competition, you can rank very quickly just by doing some of this stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think the problem is when you go into a big industry and there's lots of competition, it can take longer. But I don't care. Can I just want to say to you, I don't really care. And I'm not sure if I've communicated this to you yet, but I don't care how I rank on Google, really, because I get so much value from all of these other things. So from YouTube, I get so much value when I write the right keyword, people search it, they binge watch. I get so much value from that. I don't really care whether I'm number 1 in Google for this strategy. I get so much value from the email that I don't need the blog post to rank within 6 months. I get so much value from the social media of people who are following me and people who find me. It gives me so much benefit to my business. I'm happy to wait for the ranking. And the Facebook retargeting is phenomenal, how people just get to see you all the time and that nurture. And so from these 4, I get so much value. I have time to wait for the blog post to rank. And I think that's the difference. Like when you pull all your eggs in one basket, it's like, okay, let's do a blog post and we're living and dying whether that works. And then when it doesn't work and it takes longer, clients can get upset. You can get upset and say, well, this isn't working. So the beauty of this strategy is you've got 5 different campaigns working simultaneously for you. They're all real. They all work individually, they work. And when you put them together, you start to see a benefit pretty quickly. And then the snowball effect of each one of these. Do you know what the snowball effect of sending an email once or twice a week to your list for a year is? The snowball effect is they know who you are. they know that when they need something in your industry, they're going to come to you. That is massive. The snowball effect of Facebook retargeting, when people are seeing it on their feed all the time, like I've got people that, like a client of mine, I saw him yesterday and he's like, Marlon, are you like posting as much as you used to? I'm like, oh no, I've pulled back a bit because I'm changing my strategy and I'm launching again this week. But he noticed. He's like coming to me saying, Marlon, I haven't seen the videos over the last few weeks. And so he noticed it. You know, that retargeting is so powerful. And then the YouTube thing, when I started doing this, I've got to jump off, but when I started doing this, I didn't believe that people would find me on YouTube. Like if you look at how many views I get per video on average, it's not a lot. The reason I did this initially was for my existing client base. It was for the nurture. It was to build. So when I get a lead, I can send them to a few videos and impress them that I've done all these videos. And in the sales process, it would help me, because that's what I did in the past. In a previous business, we had a YouTube channel. We had 3 editors, video editors working full-time producing video. We produced a small amount of videos, high quality. And when I sat in a meeting with the CEO of, a Fortune 500 company in Australia, and they asked me a question, I said, I'll send you a video about that after. And then I send them 2 videos at the end. It impressed them. That's why I did the video, right? To impress them in the sales process. What I found is that you can actually generate leads on YouTube by doing this. And so I didn't expect YouTube to work for me, because I thought no one watches my videos. Like really, when you think of some of these big guys like Dude Perfect and, Mr. Beast and all of those guys, I'm a nothing. But it's amazing that when you do the right keywords, how people will find it. And then you become the Dude Perfect, the Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber to them. Now, I just found a guy the other day. He's a blogger. He's a nobody, really. Now, he's claiming that he's doing really well. I don't know if he is. But he's like, I'm really invested in him. I have no idea who this guy is. But he did one video and I went, that was very good. Like, I really liked what he said. So I clicked on his profile. I watched 2 more videos. And then I subscribed. I'm like, I really like him. He, to me now, is the #1 guy on blogging. Now, is he that good? He's just rehashing stuff other people are saying, but I just like the way he says it. And so I told another person in the industry about him. I'm telling you guys about him. And so you can see that he's had a big impact on me. And yes, he's probably a nobody, but he's built a lot of authority with me in a very short amount of time, because I'm starting to binge watch his videos. All right. Okay, guys. So any last questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, Marlon, I have one. How much video training is there in that $1,000 course? And what kind of video training? iPhone?
Yeah, I just teach initially with iPhone. So if you want to do more, training around better quality cameras, like I've got a really good quality camera, not this one, but another one that I record with, I'll help you with all of that. And that's something that I do one-on-one with you. But the standard thing is to get started, just an iPhone or lapel mic, and I give you all the things that you need to buy, and I help you. And then I review the videos with you. So basically what I do is I say to you, record the video. So I got a client this week, he recorded it. I watch it with him. I say, these are the things you've got to change. He records it again and he changes it, and massive increase in quality. And then I just check the videos and I'm giving you feedback to tweak it. I don't need it to be perfect, but what I do want is for you to get better every time. If you look at my first videos, they were terrible, and now they're good. They're really good. Are they perfect? No. Look, my lighting sometimes is too dark and I'm so frustrated with it. But at times and other times, I think it's great. I don't care, because what people care about is the audio has to be good. My audio is always good. And secondly, my content is rock solid. And it's only because I know my industry. And so I just talk, but clients love it. And they'll forgive the video production if you give good quality. So yeah, in the course, that's a very big part at the beginning, how we get you set up with everything. And then it's just repetition. And then we have those coaching calls where you get on and we do all that work.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, guys. Well, I got to jump off. Some of you I'll see on a coaching call now. And if you have any questions, just email me.
Thanks, Marlon.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks.